Don't want this, remember that. 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 Don't let the days go by. Yes,
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities, the El Paso Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities, Paso Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CS4 News produces.
But
Plaguing our country.
Sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media. More alarming,
without checking facts first.
unfortunately, some members of the media use those platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda control exactly what the people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our extremely dangerous to our
Extremely dangerous to our democracy. Extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Extremely dangerous to our extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous. 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 This is extremely dangerous.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CS4 News produces. CS4 News produces.
Sharing of bots become all too common. More alarming, some media outdate stories without checking
Biased and false
Too common on social Unfortunately, those platforms push their agenda control people think. And this is
extremely dangerous. This is extremely dangerous.
extremely dangerous to our
democracy. This is extremely dangerous. This is extremely dangerous.
extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Dangerous to our democracy. Dangerous to our democracy.
Dangerous to our democracy. Dangerous to our democracy.
Our democracy.
It's our democracy. It's to our democracy. This is to our democracy.
This is democracy. This is democracy. This is democracy. This is democracy. This is our democracy. To our democracy.
To our democracy. This is to our democracy.
This is democracy.
This is democracy. This is democracy. This is democracy. This is to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous. This is extremely dangerous.
This is extremely dangerous. This is extremely dangerous.
This is extremely dangerous. This is extremely dangerous.
Extremely dangerous to our democracy. Extremely dangerous to our democracy.
To our democracy. This to our democracy. This to our democracy. To our democracy. This to our democracy. This to our democracy.
Dangerous to our democracy. Dangerous to our democracy. Our democracy. Our democracy.
This our democracy.
This is
Our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous.
Our democracy. This is our democracy. This is democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
As his hopes of a second term fade further away, a defiant Donald Trump is claiming without evidence that he's been the victim of electoral fraud.
Unleashing a barrage of false claims of fraud and corruption.
Tensions do remain high as President Trump repeats false claims that he won the presidential election.
He's again claimed without any real evidence,
with zero evidence to back up his claim,
that there is mass voter fraud going on.
The President of the United States essentially alleging that there is a conspiracy to steal and rig the election so that he loses. Again, there's no evidence to back up that claim.
The president falsely suggesting Republican observers are not present at vote counting centers.
A statement that was baseless and was not backed up by evidence.
Unsubstantiated and false evidence of widespread voter fraud.
They're unfounded allegations of voter fraud.
He falsely thinks normal, routine ballot counting is somehow rigged against him.
The charge of electoral theft comes without evidence.
And saying without evidence that Democrats are trying to take victory away from him.
Some repeating his unsubstantiated claims of widespread voter fraud without providing evidence. Escalating his unsubstantiated claims it was stolen from him without presenting any evidence of widespread fraud.
They're trying to steal an election. They're trying to rig an election, and we can't let that happen.
We're watching President Trump speaking live from the White House, and we have to interrupt here because the president has made a number of false statements, including the notion that there has been fraudulent voting. There has been no evidence of that.
Still, when the president's press secretary made a new round of baseless claims, even Fox News cut away.
Unless she has more details to back that up, I can't in good countenance continue showing you this.
I don't know that we have seen the proof of voter fraud in any of these states yet.
No evidence of voter fraud, widespread voter fraud in this country. The Cooperative Congressional Research Report cited by the Washington Post points out that somewhere between 2 and 5%
Betsy, please,
of illegal voters vote.
We've cited so much evidence on Stop, or I'm going to have to cut this interview short.
That is not based in the facts at all.
This is disinformation and misinformation on a level that has not been seen from the presidential podium in the East Room of the White House in my lifetime.
What President Trump just said was undemocratic and false.
New tonight, cities across this country preparing for protests being pushed by Stop the Steal. It's the group embracing President Trump's baseless conspiracy theory that the election has been stolen from him.
The claims that Democrats stole the 2020 presidential election from Donald Trump are all false. But the truth means little to people inundated with lies. Stop the Steal may appear as a grassroots uprising, but it started more than 4 years ago. The brainchild of a political dirty trick artist and convicted liar who has pushed disinformation schemes for years. This week, Stone even took his message to the most notorious conspiracy theorist of all, Alex Jones.
A hoax is being perpetrated on the American people.
That's a lie.
What about the Project Veritas tapes that show that DNC groups
alleged voter fraud
are busing people illegally from polling place to polling place?
There were a billion votes. I'm going to stop this right now.
This is extremely dangerous. This is extremely dangerous.
This is extremely dangerous. This is extremely dangerous.
This is extremely dangerous. This is extremely dangerous.
Extremely dangerous to our democracy. Extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Dangerous to our democracy. Dangerous to our democracy.